Come with me to review the L7 Chicago by Lotte Hotel located in Chicago's downtown loop. In just a second, we'll do a walkthrough of the hotel where I check into my room and give first impressions of everything, but stay tuned till the end for my final thoughts after my stay. Also, just a quick note, when I was doing the walkthrough, you'll hear me call the hotel L7 Chicago by Lotte. I wasn't quite sure how to pronounce it, but it turns out the correct version is L7 Chicago by Lotte. Let's dive in. So I'm checking in to the L7 Chicago Lotte Hotel in downtown Chicago. Hi there, I'm Leah Rose. I'm Travel Lemmings Managing Editor. And so I'm just gonna do a walkthrough of the hotel room, just kind of give you my impressions of it. And yeah, so I have the 1-bedroom king suite with river views. And just upon entering the room, it's super spacious, a ton of natural light, which is great, and there's a bunch of big windows. So this is kind of the living area, like suite part of the hotel room, and then that's the bedroom, and the bathroom is over there. But in here, you know, we've got a couch, some cool lighting, and I think one of the best features is these kind of like window seats that overlook the city, really good for people watching. These are nice and squishy, so good for just sitting or reading a book or something. There's a view of downtown Chicago. We're right along the river, so we're in like the northern part of the loop, but yeah, right by the river. These are two iconic buildings in Chicago. They're kind of locally known as the Corn Cob, so that's fun to see. But again, a really good people watching spot. And then we have the TV over here, and kind of like a tea and coffee station with an espresso, and it looks like we've got some pods and some tea options there. And then we'll move into the bedroom. Again, it's a king bed in this suite, and I'm in room 411. So super spacious, and then the bedroom has kind of 3 of these little like window seat nooks. It's pretty much the same view over here, overlooking the river and the corn cobs and just downtown. I feel like this is a good spot to kind of curl up with a book or coffee and just do some good people watching. There's another TV in the bedroom, which is nice, so you can like, you know, watch a movie from the living room or from bed. And then over here, there's just a slightly different view of the river and just downtown in general. There's a little sitting area, which is good if you're like working or you just want to, you know, have a little drink and relax at the end of the night. And then moving into the bathroom, also really spacious. I think that's just one of the biggest things I've noticed about this hotel room is how spacious it is. We've got a lot of vanity space on the countertops, and we've also got some Korean face masks here, which is nice. I will try these later for sure. And yeah, just the normal hotel bathroom stuff. There's a big walk-in shower. It's probably echoing right now. I think it has like a rainfall type of like shower head up there, but it comes with some products too, which is nice. Close that. Again, really good sized bathroom. I feel like this is good for 2 people getting ready, like if you're a couple, or I think this room would also work for a family just because there's a king bed and then the couch out there is a pull-out, and I feel like these little spots up here would be really fun for kids. So again, there's the king bed. And there's a lot of details of just like artwork throughout the hotel and in the room. I think that's kind of a theme of the hotel, so I really like that. But yeah, overall my impression of the L7 Chicago by Lotte is really spacious, bright, airy, clean. I like the interiors. They're modern, but they're not too boring. It's colorful, it's fun. So yeah, I think this is a good hotel if you want to be right in the heart of downtown Chicago. It's been a day now since my hotel stay at the L7 Chicago by Lotte, and now that I'm back home, I kind of just wanted to give you a review with my thoughts after the initial hotel stay. So, overall, I really did like my stay. I felt like the hotel was clean and comfortable, and I really appreciated that the decor wasn't like super sterile and modern, which a lot of hotels kind of are these days. I feel like the interiors were much more like playful and colorful, but it was still like very cozy and inviting. So it was overall just like a really comfortable stay. As far as the room goes, I think it was really well designed. I felt like all of the like outlets and everything were in the right places. Like nothing felt like weird, you know what I mean? And the bed was comfortable. It was like soft but firm. It could have been a little bit softer, but that's just kind of my preference for things. The couch was really nice and was pretty comfortable too. I liked that there were two TVs, one in the main like suite area and then one in kind of the bedroom area. So that way, you know, you can decide if you just want to hang out in the living room area and watch something or like watch TV from bed. I will say with the TV, I couldn't really figure out how to get Netflix to work, but that definitely is an option. I think that was probably just user error, but the TVs in both rooms were really nice. Something I didn't note in my walkthrough that I noticed after was that they have some gear in the hotel room for like working out in your room, which I thought was really nice. So they have a yoga mat as well as some weights and just like some muscle rollers and some like exercise balls. So I thought that that was a really nice perk. Like if you're staying for a long weekend and just want to get a quick workout in, I think it was really nice that the hotel provided that. There was also an air purifier, which again, really nice touch. So I turned that on during my stay and it was pretty quiet. It just kind of provided some like white noise, but I'm assuming made the air cleaner and everything when I was there. The bathroom was also really good, clean, good water pressure. I liked that they had products available, so shampoo, conditioner, body wash, lotion, all of that. And everything was really good smelling, so that was another perk. The brand, I believe, was Apotheke. And then they also had some face masks and little makeup remover wipes and Q-tips and all of that. There was also like ample towels, and there were robes in the room too, which were soft and just really nice to lounge around in. For breakfast and dinner during my hotel stay, I went to the hotel's on-site restaurant, Perilla, which is a Korean steakhouse. And you may notice in my written review and in kind of my walkthrough, there are some Korean influences in the hotel. So for instance, there are Korean face masks in the room. So I had the Korean barbecue for dinner and it was great overall. It was Wagyu and short rib, I believe. And it had all of the like side dishes that you typically have when you have Korean barbecue. I would say I preferred the breakfast a little bit more over the dinner, just because I think personally I want more carbs with my food, and Korean barbecue is obviously very meat heavy, but it was still good and a good experience. And then for breakfast, they similarly offer like some Korean options like stews and some different like meat dishes, but then also some American fare as well. As far as the gym and amenities go, I think they had a small but like very well set up gym. When I went, nobody was using it, which was surprising, but they had an area for like, you know, stretching and doing jump roping and just stuff like that. And I thought what was really cool is they actually had a little side section, and I'll probably insert a photo or video here, but they had all of these pamphlets of like different workout ideas and like yoga flows that you could try out. And then the second kind of part of the gym had, you know, a bunch of treadmills as well as I think a stationary bike. So it kind of had everything you need for like just a hotel gym stay. The service at the hotel overall was good. I would say it was nothing like extraordinary or over the top. The staff was friendly and helpful, but nothing like super personalized. So that might have just been my experience, but that's something to keep in mind if you're looking for that type of a hotel experience, or maybe it's something you don't really care about and you just want to go to the hotel, have your stay, and have a nice, comfortable room to come back to at the end of the day, but still like friendly staff. I think that definitely meets those needs. The location of the hotel is one of the biggest selling points of the L7. So it's located technically like within the Chicago Loop, but right along the northern side of the loop, along the river. And so from the hotel, you can kind of have views of the river if you get like a corner suite, for instance. But you are super close to a lot of the main attractions that first-timers come to Chicago for. So, for instance, Millennium Park and the Bean is just like a few blocks south. The river is right there, so you can easily go check out the Riverwalk. The Magnificent Mile is just across the river, so there's tons of shopping and dining around, and probably like a 20-ish minute walk to Navy Pier. But a lot of those like top attractions that people think of when they think of Chicago are really close by, and it really is just central to like in downtown. I think that kind of corner of the Loop in just downtown Chicago is probably the best part of the city to stay for first timers, just because you are so close to everything within walking distance. There is a train stop just around the corner. The Chicago Theater is also just around the corner, which is really nice. So, that iconic Chicago red marquee that a lot of people think of is right there. And you'll very much just feel like you're in the heart of the city and kind of in the midst of everything. Some other things that I wanted to mention about my hotel stay just include the little nooks that are within the hotel room. And again, I was in a 1-bedroom king suite with in the corner of the building with river views, which was really nice. But something that the hotel has throughout, I think, all of their rooms are these like little nooks at by the windows where you can like sit and watch the actions of the city go by. And this was absolutely my favorite part of the room, which might seem simple, but it kind of just made me feel like a kid again. Like you just jump up onto this little like window seat and it's like super comfy and cushioned, and there are pillows and you can just overlook the city and what's going on. I want to go over the pros and cons of the L7. And so I would say pros are location, number one. Again, this is one of the best areas of Chicago that you could hope to stay in. It just is super central to everything, walking distance. The river is right there. You're also just like right near the Bean, just in the heart of the city. Another pro that I wanted to highlight is that I felt like the rooms were actually like pretty well soundproofed. Again, you're in the heart of the city, and so it can be very noisy. And I'm probably a bit immune to some of the city noises just living in Chicago, but I do feel like the rooms were like pretty soundproof. I slept soundly and didn't hear any like crazy loud sirens or anything like that. And some definitely did go by, but I think it was definitely like a peaceful stay sound-wise. And then general pros of the hotel are just like cleanliness, comfort, the interior design, as well as like the like kind of practical design of the hotel. It seems like they really thought everything out. Like there were hooks by the door to hang up your coat or your bag. There were ample like outlets, but on both sides of the bed for plugging in your phone and charging everything. There were, like pens and a notepad and cups and plenty of towels. And like I said, in the bathroom, like Q-tips and makeup wipes and all of that stuff. So I really feel like they kind of thought of everything. As for the cons of the hotel, I didn't find a ton, but generally I would just say, there's no pool, there's no spa, there aren't really any of those amenities aside from like just having a restaurant and a gym, and just kind of like a nice lobby to sit in. There was a little coffee station downstairs that had, it was like a little machine where you could get coffee or tea, and then I think they rotate snacks throughout the day. So there was that, but there wasn't really a ton of other amenities besides those that I mentioned. So that would be the con of it. Regarding who this hotel is best for, I would say just general adult, like first-time visitors to Chicago, as well as couples and business travelers. In my video, I mentioned that, or in the walkthrough, that it was probably a decent hotel for families. And looking back after staying there, I don't think it's the most family-oriented hotel, but I think if you have kids that are a little bit older, I would say like 10 to teenagers, this probably is a decent hotel for families to stay, just because the rooms are really spacious, so there's places for everyone to spread out. So that's what I would say for families, but just general like adults, first-timers to Chicago, this is a great hotel. It was stylish, perfect location, and it offers like all of the basic amenities that you would need as far as just like a restaurant and a gym. So for this hotel, price-wise, I paid $284 for this hotel, including tax. That doesn't include the breakfast and the dinner fees from the restaurant. Those were separate and not included. And this is about the range that you would find in a mid-range hotel in Chicago. This really fluctuates depending on the time of year. So I stayed like middle end of February, and that's not like the most appealing time for a lot of people to come to Chicago. Obviously, the cold is infamous here. But that's, I would say, a little bit above average for that time of year. Most hotels I think I was looking at in February were about like 150, 200, and this again was like 280. So it is on the higher range, and I was in like a 1-bedroom king suite, which, is a slightly more expensive room. So just for your awareness, this hotel stay was not sponsored. The hotel had no idea that I was visiting or reviewing the hotel. That being said, Travel Lemming does earn a small commission when you book your hotel stays with us. It's just a good way to support us as a travel blog. Again, the hotel did not know that I was reviewing them. The L7 overall was a really nice hotel in Chicago and I think would be perfect for first timers. But that being said, it might not be the best choice for everybody. If you are looking for more options, I have a ton of recommendations in my Where to Stay in Chicago guide that covers hotel stays in the Loop, which is where I stayed, which is part of downtown Chicago, as well as a bunch of other neighborhoods that might appeal to other travelers, like families or younger visitors or long-term stays and all of that. So definitely be sure to check that out if you aren't quite sure if this is the right hotel stay or if you just want to check out some other options. But that's all I have for you, and we have a ton of videos on Travel Lemming, so go check out this video next.